Hey guys, how are you going? So I'm ATSU and today I would like to talk about the IELTS examination. Well, I've taken the IELTS examination 3 times. I'm in academic IELTS examinations. And today I would like to share some of my experience about the IELTS examination because I would like to become a help for you. So, well, in particular, in this video, I want to talk about reading and listening part. And in the following videos, I will talk about writing and speaking part. Before talking about the IELTS reading and listening, maybe I should talk about myself and my scores. So after checking my scores, please decide whether or not you should continue watching this video. Okay, so I'm Atsu and I'm a Japanese student and I've been studying English for about 5 years. And now I'm living in Australia I've been here for about like 1.5 years, but I think, well, strictly speaking, I've been here in Australia for, well, only just 1 year or so because I often get back to Japan so I can, stay with my family. Let me talk about my score, okay? I for the first time took the IELTS examination in Japan, in Yokohama City. And I got 8.5 in listening, 8.0 in reading, 6.0 in writing, and 8.5 in speaking. Okay, so that was my first try this February. And a few months ago, I took the examinations twice, in Australia. So on my second try, I got 8.5 in listening, 9.0 in reading, 7.5 in writing, and 7.0 in speaking. Okay. And on my third try, my reading and listening were 9.0, and I got 7.5 in writing and 8.0 in speaking, then I got the overall of 8.5 on my third try. First of all, I want to talk about the reading part, because the reading part is, in my opinion, is easiest part, of the IELTS examination. I've never taken the general test, but in terms of the academic IELTS examination, it's the easiest part. The reason for it is the objectivity of the part. There is a particular answer towards each question. So as long as you have sufficient ability and competence or English knowledge, well, there is high possibility you can get good marks, on this part. Alright, and well, the reading part is really objective, right? So you don't really need to care about where you take the examination. Well, some people say that, I got the easier reading, passages in this particular venue or things like that, but that's totally a myth. So that never happens. Of course, there is a fluctuation, in the difficulty of the reading part, of course, but well, it doesn't really get affected by where you take the examination. So the reading part is the easiest part. So as long as you take the Cambridge IELTS examination tests many times at home and then get well prepared, you should be fine. So that's pretty much the way I got 9.0 in reading 2 times consecutively. So that's all about reading part. But well, let me share some strategies about how to get a good score, because some candidates pretty much do not really understand how to sort of answer questions. Well, so you gotta sort of answer the questions in order, order time, and the order is you first read the questions and then get back to the passage and then read, and then get back to the question and then get back to the passage, and each paragraph is there in order for you to get some information necessary to answer, the questions. So I don't think there are many paragraphs that are unnecessary, in the reading passages. So please make sure that you have plenty of time to read all the passages, because all the paragraphs are pretty important, in getting a good score, They are all necessary. In general, sometimes the last paragraph, doesn't really matter, but I think in general, they are important. So let me talk about listening part. Listening part is also objective in comparison with other parts or writing and speaking. Writing and speaking are, in my opinion, a little bit subjective. Okay, but the listening is objective because there is a particular answer towards each question. So as long as you can listen to what the speaker is saying during the part, well, you should be alright. However, well, where you take the exam might really affect your score because the quality of speaker really varies, depending upon the venue, right? For instance, on my third try, well, there was only one speaker, okay? There was only one speaker, well, at the front, which was maybe smaller than an iPad mini. I could sort of barely hear every single sentence. So, well, what I could do was just sort of, pick up some vocabulary or words necessary to answer the questions, but I didn't really understand the overall picture of the listening. Well, I think that's something, well, that really, helps you get a good score because even if you don't really understand, generally what the speaker is talking about, you can get a good score. I got 9.0 in listening because I could pick up some words. What I think about it is that your venue really affects your score to some extent in the listening part, but not pretty much, okay? But, well, I think you should sort of, solicit some information from your friends as to the quality of the speaker or things like that because that might really affect your score. And okay, so let me talk about a strategy of the listening part lastly. So in answering the questions, okay, of the listening, well, in the part A, in the part 1, okay, you should read the questions on the part 3, okay? And in the part 2, you should read the questions of part 4, okay? So, well, the reason for it is that the questions, okay, tend to be lengthy in part 3 and part 4, okay? And there is a sort of limited amount of time you can use in order to read those questions. And the difficulty gets harder, okay? And so, well, I definitely recommend you guys, okay, read the part 3 and part 4 questions while the directions of the part 1 and part 2 are being read. Okay, so that's my opinion about it. Well, but actually, okay, so this is gonna be my conclusion. Well, I reckon not many people really struggle, okay, in getting a good score in reading and listening part. So I'm not really sure this video is going to really help you pretty much, but I think I can share some good really information about writing and speaking. So I'd like you guys to really watch those videos as well because those experiences are, I think, something really precious. Okay, so thank you for watching this video anyways, and see you next time. Bye bye.